about to head over to the official launch party right after this, but I have managed to get Mr. Greg Weatherdon here with me. How are you doing, Greg?
I'm doing fine. And yourself?
Great, thank you. Thank you for talking to us. So you're an entrepreneur, correct?
Correct. Fortunately, I've been retired for 5 years, having sold a company, and now I spend a lot of time mentoring here at Invest Ottawa.
Great. We need more mentors. People are learning lots. I see all kinds of light bulbs going on over there. So what was the business that you got out of?
I had a sales and communication business. We did telemarketing for the consumer packaged goods and pharmaceutical industry throughout North America. A lot of major medical companies where they used to have reps calling on the stores, the retail stores. That disappeared over the years, so we picked up that gauntlet, if you wish, through telemarketing and email and broadcast fax, doing product launches and seasonal bookings.
Perfect time in history to come up with that sort of thing too.
Absolutely, it was only ourselves in Canada and one really competitor in the U.S. So we that was pretty much it. A small company, but fruitful. As I said, I got out 5 years ago.
Well, good for you. Congratulations. Now let me ask: when you set out with that company, did you have an exit strategy in mind? Was that something that you wanted?
Yes, I had a previous company for 8 years. It was hell on earth, for lack of a better expression. Everything you can do wrong. It was considered my MBA in small business. My second company, I quite frankly I built it to sell it. It was a lifestyle company. It was about my lifestyle. So I put in place from the start everything that allowed me to live the lifestyle, not working the weekends and 24 hours a day. And fortunately, because of that, at the end of it, it was ready to sell when I decided it was time to leave.
That's great. You couldn't ask for anything better, really.
Worked out very well. Most entrepreneurs, one of the weaknesses, they're the hardest working person in their company, and they're not supposed to be. When it comes to selling, the company is hung on their shoulders, and they haven't delegated it down to the point that it could be sold easily, because when somebody buys it, typically the owner wants to leave, but if they're the only one in charge and have all the keys to the kingdom, they're stuck for a few more years.
Right. So, I mean, you've done this a couple times with great success. Is there something that when you started out you thought would be much more difficult than it was, and you found it to be easier? Anything that, scared you that wasn't that bad?
It's always a challenge, especially when you're dealing with an idea. And both my businesses tended to be pioneer within the industry at the time. Pioneer, I use that term there. Nobody else was doing it, so all of a sudden it's like, really, you want to do that? But if you... Again, based on practical experience, what kind of background do you have? If you're dealing in an industry that you don't have any background, it makes it very difficult to start a business. So ideally, tips are, do something that you already have a base of knowledge on that you can then take out to create your dream. That's number one. Stay focused, but also know when to cut bait. I've had a couple of other businesses that, believe me, they didn't work out, but you have to just get your pride and ego out of the way and cut it, because the losses will just continue, and if it isn't working after a point in time, you usually know the answer, but you just don't want to let go. So those are probably a couple of the best tips I can give people, and stick to your knitting. Yeah,
it's very helpful, and that's one of the main things I've heard, right, is that people don't know when to cut their losses, because it's your baby and you want it to do well.
Yep, and you know what, live to fight another day. As I said, don't let your pride and ego get in the way, and that's usually a pretty big challenge for most entrepreneurs, especially the first time through, until you've had enough pain. Yeah.
Then you just want it to stop, right?
Absolutely. That's so those are kind of my 3 tips, if you wish.
Great. Well, thank you very much for talking to us, Greg. Sounds like you have a lot of great tips for these budding entrepreneurs here.
Been a busy day. Speed mentoring is something new. I can tell you, I'm looking forward to having something to drink after this.
And we'll see you there. We'll be at the launch party right after this. Thanks a lot, Greg.
Thanks.